Hey guys, Benji here with another question of the week. The question is, do you believe that people can change? Why or why not? Um, I think, um, hmm, I'm gonna be a jerk a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest. I think smart people change all the time. I think intelligent people, when presented new information, they change their minds, they change their actions, they change whatever it is. And that's what they do. And I think, for the lack of a better word, I think stupid people don't. I think, I don't know, I think some people, they just are so afraid of change that they will just do things that aren't even in their own interest. Um, take a job for instance. I think smart people, maybe see like, hey, the business is turning down. Not as many people want the gadget or the service that we're selling. This isn't going good. I got to find something new, and they make a new decision and they change, and they move on, and it's better, and things happen the way they saw that they were going to happen and won't. And I think the stupid people are like, no, I'm just gonna stay. No, you never know. And they stick around and nothing happens good. And then eventually they get laid off, and then they're in a world of hurt. Now they're looking for a job and they don't have a job, and they've hurt themselves financially. So I think they just make bad decisions. So do I believe that people can change? Yeah, all day. People can. Now, do they? For the most part, I would say no. I would say most people, they don't change, because I think there's just, I don't know why, but because this is not me, and I'm not saying like, oh, smart people change their mind and I change my mind all the time since I'm so smart. But I guess it's leading to that, so maybe I do believe that. But there are, the majority of people just have this fight against change for anything, right? I mean, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, job, house, I mean, where you live, everything, right? They don't want to change. They want to keep doing the same thing that they're doing. And it's fine. If you're set in your ways and you want to do what you want to do, and you're happy with that, you don't have to change. Nobody's saying you have to change. It's the people that complain but then won't change, right? It's the guy that, I love golf. It's the guy that goes out and he shoots 107 every single weekend with golf. And he comes to men's league every week and he shoots 56, right? I mean, he's just bad. And he complains that he sucks. And why don't I get better? Why don't I do anything? But he doesn't ever go to the range. He never takes a lesson. He doesn't ever try to get better, but still complains. The better players, they complain that they suck, and then you see them down on the short game area, and you see them at the range, and you see them doing all these things that that people that are smart do. They go, hey, I want a different outcome on my chipping, so I'm gonna go down to the chipping green 3 times a week, and I'm gonna chip balls for an hour. I mean, it just doesn't take that long to get that much better at chipping, right? It is, I'm gonna say a month. I feel like a month is a long time. If you go, let's say you went 15 days in a month and you practice for an hour, 15 hours, man, you'd get a lot better at, especially if you went either with someone that's a good chipper or PGA guy, PGA Tour Pro, or not Tour Pro, but your PGA local pro, and you got a lesson down there. Like, hey, you're forward pressing your hands, you're dipping them down, whatever it is, and they're like, hey, don't do that. Do these. Practice these fundamentals, and you practice them for every other day for a month. I'm not saying you would be an incredible chipper, but man, you're gonna get rid of 80% of your bad chips. So Can people change? Yes. But how many people go and do that? They just don't. Now, I'm not saying you got to be a good golfer. If you go out and you shoot 94 every time or 96 and you're happy with that, you shoot 46, 48, blah, blah, blah. Everything's fine. If you're happy with that, that's fine. Those guys are happy with it. They don't really complain. They're like, yeah, I shoot bogey golf, a little worse. Yeah, had a bad day. Good day today. Shot 89. Haven't shot in the 80s in a while. That was fun. Hey, that's fine. But it's the guys that complain that they suck and then don't do anything. It's the guy that says he hates his job and hates his life and he doesn't ever change. He stays at that job for forever. It's that kind of stuff. So do I believe people can change? Yeah. But people just don't like to. And I think it goes back to, and I think if the question is more dealing with your views, right? Whether it's religion, politics, just ethics, right? I mean, how you feel about healthcare in America, how you feel about abortion, how you feel about, Congress, how you feel about God and Islam versus Buddhism versus Christianity. Now the question of, do you believe that people can change? Why or why not? No, I don't. I don't think the majority of people change. I think the majority of people, well, if they did, in America, you would have this random swath of so many different religions, right? Because people would search out the different religions, read a little bit about each of them, and then practice that religion. That's not what happens, right? What do people do? Like, well, my grandparents were Catholics, my parents were Catholics, so I'm a Catholic. Oh yeah, you ever study anything else? You ever look into Buddhism or Stoicism or Jainism, anything, any of these other religions? Nope, haven't done that. Why? I don't know, because I'm a Catholic, right? They don't want to change. Hey, why are you a Republican? Hey, why are you a Democrat? Hey, why do you think that our healthcare in America is great when the rest of the world seems to have a better system? Hey, this is what we have and we're the best. Well, okay, well then, yeah, you get what you get. And then when you try to get something done and it doesn't go well, and then you're like, oh, why does our system suck? Like, well, because you don't even want to change. It's people like, I get mad at my dad all the time because he's like, oh, this Congress sucks, we need term limits. I'm like, sure, term limits would be great, but the odds of them putting that in against themselves, it's probably not going to happen. But I tell him all the time, like, you could vote for somebody else. Well, no, I can't do that. I got to vote for a freaking Republican no matter what. Well, if you're going to vote for the same guy over and over, like your state House of Representatives, you're just going to vote for the same people and then get mad that the same people are in there every year and that you want term limits when you could just kick them out, but people don't change. I've always voted Republican. My dad always voted Republican, so I vote Republican. My parents were always Muslims, and so I studied Muslim. I didn't think for myself at all. I never even looked at another religion. One of my favorite things to do, if people get on religion and say, oh, these crazy Muslims or crazy Middle Eastern people or who knows, right? Just ask them, like, hey, have you read or anything about the Quran? Have you ever looked into the stories? Have you just Google chatted, hey, who are the main characters in the Quran? Like, what's it about? They don't know anything, but they hate it. That to me is just such ignorance, and it just shows it's laughable that somebody can be like, I hate it. But it's just as laughable when you ask somebody, that says they're a devout Christian, let's say, and like ask them about stories in the Bible, not like Noah and Jonah and Moses parting the Red Sea, but like a little scripture, not a random one in the freaking book of Hosea, but just a random idea about like, oh, hey, did you know that there's kind of two stories about creation, you know, how the world started and how that happened, or how God created man, and you know, Genesis 1 versus Genesis 2. Man, it's pretty weird. And they're like, what are you talking about? You're like, gotcha. Yeah, I forgot. This is your overriding principle of your life. This religion is the most important thing to you, but you still haven't taken the time to read a book. You've watched every NFL game this weekend. You watched tons of college basketball, or you've read every Harry Potter or Twilight or Lord of the Rings book. I just haven't had time to read the one book that is about my entire world outlook. That's weird. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. Oh, no, even better. Not that it doesn't matter. They might find out something about their worldview or their religion or their ideas on abortion, their ideas on, you know, cancer treatment. I mean, vaccines, you name it, right? It could be anything. They're gonna find something that they don't like about it and be like, oh crap, maybe I don't actually believe, maybe I don't want to believe what I believe, what I say I believed. And so that's where I get back to the smart people and dumb people. Is the most intelligent people that I know, they're constantly looking for better information, more information. Could be on their business, could be in life, could be about their health, could be about their diet, could be about anything, right? They're always searching out for better information. When they get that information, they make a change, right? I think, you know, in business is the easiest one to look at, because you're like, some guys don't want to, like, I'm a blue collar guy, right? I'm not, probably, nobody would say that, but we have a hardscape business. We do all our job costings. We really understand our financial numbers. We understand all of our reporting. A lot of guys don't get into that. And I think it's the same reason why Christians don't read the Bible, because they look at it and go, man, I'm gonna see things in my numbers that I just don't want to see, and I don't want to know. I know that it's probably ugly, and I don't want to see it. Instead, I would look at myself and go, just give me the facts. Give me where we're screwing up, and let's try to fix it. Let's get better. Let's do something. And I think most people, they don't want to do it. They don't like change. They want to keep doing it the way they've done, even though it's not how typically the world works. Typically the world, it changes. Things change all the time. It's the, you know, the main through line of everything. It's, you know, change is the constant, even though that's a funny saying. But, so yeah, that's probably what I believe. If someone would just ask me, do you think people can change? I would say, I think people can change. I think anybody can change, but I think only intelligent people do. I think intelligent people, given new information, they can have a new worldview, a new view on economics, a new view on religion, a new view on anything by going, I didn't know that. I never thought of it that way. That's interesting. That changes my mind on what I think about this. And I love that. Like, that's so great to get them. It shouldn't be that cool. But if someone can take new information and change their outlook, that's amazing. But that shouldn't be. It should be the standard, but it's not. Because the standard is, hey, did you know that XYZ? Nah, I don't care about that. I don't listen to that stuff. Dude, but that has to deal with you and your situation, your relation, your marriage, your business, your job, your anything. I know, but nah, I'm fine. I'm good. Okay. And so it's just what, you know, yeah. I'm a broken record. I think the majority of people's problems stem from themselves, is what I think. I think most people self-sabotage, and most people aren't smart enough to read, research, learn something new, find out what you're doing's not working. You know, I mean, here's a perfect example. Just recently, my brother Josh, God love Josh. Josh is like the nicest of all of our siblings, right? He's the nice, sweet one. But gosh, man, like, you know, getting that guy to ever invest for his future has been tough. Well, he finally was like, hey man, I started investing $100 a week. I'm like, hey, that's great. Good start. What are you buying? I mean, penny stocks. penny stocks, junk companies that are worthless. And he's like, oh man, I'm losing on a bunch of these. I don't know how to help that. Like, Josh, stop doing that. Go buy these 3 ETFs they mimic the NASDAQ, the S&P, and put one into some foreign companies. And that's it. Don't ever buy anything else. Just put it in that and just be done. Oh, dude, I gotta make some better returns. Like, oh yeah, you're Josh Lewis, the painter, who's never invested and never studied anything about investing, is going to beat the market. It's that kind of thing. Like, I love that he's changing a little bit and he's investing, but man, it's not, yeah. It's hard. People aren't good at changing, you know? So that's my view. It's kind of a jerk view, which is stupid people don't change and smart people change all the time. Yeah. So try to be that. That'd be my lesson here. If you get anything out of any video, like if Sierra is watching this, right, and I'm dead and gone, or Sierra's kids, the number one thing I would tell you is if there's anything to do, read more, go learn more things. Something that interests you, read. And when something goes against your beliefs, read about that even more. That's your place for growth, right? Like, I love Ricky Henderson as a baseball player. I love LeBron and Larry Bird. I could go read Larry Bird books and they'll tell me how great Larry Bird is. It's better to say, hey, let's go read a book that MJ was better than Larry Bird, or maybe not that, because that might be right. But, who are the best power forwards in the history of the NBA, and Larry Bird's ranked 7th. Well, let me read that, because I might learn something and go, man, I had no idea so-and-so had so many teams. He was on so many teams that had championships and so many great stats, and he played for a long time and had a ton of points. Man, there's a good argument that he is better than Larry Bird, right? Go learn something that goes against what you believe. I mean, if you just want to, again, I'm going off on a tangent here, but go, watch things or listen to people or read books about things that you don't believe, right? That's the interesting part. That's where you could learn. It either will make you go, man, yeah, no wonder I don't believe in this stuff. I'm going to read a little bit of the Quran, and I'm going to see what the big deal is and see why it's so crazy. And then you read it, either one or two things will happen. One, you're like, oh man, the Islam religion is crazy. I hate that. I would never do that. Or two, you'll be like, who'd have thought that Moses is in the Quran and Noah and Jesus? Like, what is going on? I had no idea. Now when somebody wants to talk about it, now you can talk about it intelligently and go, hey, you ever read the Quran? Do you know what's in it? Oh, I think it's some horrible story about people sacrificing virgins and trying to get virgins into heaven and Muhammad, and it's about jihadism and they're gonna take over the world. Like, yeah, you should probably go read it and see if that's true. So find out for yourself. Go read it, right? Go take 10 days. I'm not gonna say you gotta read it from front to back. Go skim it. Go look online for a summary. Get ideas. Like, do a little bit of research. God, it's amazing what would happen if people just did a little bit of research on whatever topic they were interested in, or any topic that they wanted to get more educated in. Like, that's all it takes, just a little bit of work. But most people won't do it. And so that's where we are. That's why I believe, like the question, do you believe people can change? Do I believe they can? Yeah. Do I believe that they do or they will? No, they don't. People just don't like it. So, all right, that's all I got. See ya.